Hello everybody. This week's videos are going to focus on detailed design and design for manufacturability and design for sustainability. So detailed design goes past the big concept, you want to make a device and it does all these great things, and it really gets down into what engineers spend a lot of time doing is working out the little small issues that make a product viable. So viable products are things that could be manufactured using reasonable amounts of time and materials and energy and costs and everything. So that's a big deal in engineering. And then designing for sustainability is basically what that indicates, making sustainable products. In other words, products that aren't going to have a long-term impact on the environment, or on society, things that are safe and renewable, etc. So good video on that. And then we'll also show you a build that we did at Boston University of making solar panels for a satellite that's up in space right now. So some quick discussions about detailed design work. So a lot of times you'll start out building a circuit on a breadboard. So this is a gigantic breadboard right here. So you've done some of that in the class. Then once you make your circuit on your breadboard and get everything working, obviously this is not something you could manufacture. If I drop this on the ground, it'll break. There's no way I could send that to a customer. So you'd make a circuit board out of that electronic circuit. This is an example of a circuit board, and most of the time they're green just because of the paint applied to them. So this right here has a lot of the elements that were in this circuit, and we just made it into a circuit board. So this is a lot more rugged, so robots could place the parts on the circuit board and insert them. So this whole thing could get soldered in an oven at one time, like you put a paste down, stick the parts on the paste, goes in the oven heats up, it melts the solder paste into solder. So some cool manufacturing techniques there. And then, as opposed to, if we look back about 60 years, this was the state of the art of technology. This is a guitar amplifier from the 1950s, and you could look in there, the circuit board is literally just wires that are soldered and resistors and components that are soldered to each other on this board. So this was kind of the first incarnation of the circuit board, and it really grew out of the breadboard. And then, but now we're up to these very high density boards. Then if we get into the 21st century, if you look at something like an iPad and you open it up, and the amount of integration is truly beautiful from an engineering standpoint, like all the parts and the technology and the capabilities that are stuffed into a tiny circuit board like that. Billions of transistors doing all kinds of things, and we experience the benefits of those every day. Please watch the videos this week, and as you're watching them, think about your own project, your own product, and how could you design it to be more manufacturable. I mean, obviously in EK210 we don't have the time to do that or the resources, but if you start thinking about that now, that'll be useful later on in your career.